Lockdown list. Kane, where have you gone tonight? Our second and last one.
Yep, gone with the Giants. And look, I think they're right there. They're right at the top of the tree in terms of premiership contention this year. But they've got to get a few things right. I want them to use the full 90 interchanges. They are the most dynamic, speed, aerobic midfield in the competition. I wouldn't expect their midfielders to spend more than 5 minutes on the ground. Get off. Teams aren't going to use their full 90 rotations in a shortened game. If they can keep speed on the game, particularly in the midfield, there's no team that can go with them. Canelio, Kelly, Ward, De Boer, these power runners, you put Whitfield and Green through there at times, they're just going to be unstoppable. But be selfless, spend 3 or 4 minutes on the ground, get off the old Mick Malthouse Collingwood model with Dane Swan, and he revolutionised that area. So high rotations for the Giants, that is point number 1. Point number 2, they were a poor first quarter side last year, and if you look at their record, which we'll get up in terms of first quarters, it was not great. They only won 11 out of their first quarters in their 25 games that they played last year. Games could be over at quarter time. The Giants got to be a better first quarter side this year, and they could shut things down and have the game over by quarter time. And I reckon there's a perception they're flat track bullies, and I'm not sure how well it sits with them, but their side and their record against top 8 sides last year wasn't that great. When we look at the record against top 8 sides, 4 wins and 5 losses. Compare that to Richmond, they're 55% against top 8 sides, considering the injuries that Richmond had last year. That's what they've got to get to. So when they come up against the likes of Richmond and Geelong and Brisbane, they've got to come ready to play and not beat up on the Gold Coast of the world like they did last year. That's point number 3. And point number 4, I reckon Jeremy Cameron needs some help. He's an inconsistent player for me, Jeremy Cameron. Perhaps that's because he hasn't had a steady hand helping him down there and taking the focal point off him. Well, that focal point is that man, Toby Green. Don't worry about playing in the midfield. You've got enough midfielders. He needs to do his best and most damaging work inside 50 this year. He can kick 40 goals, and the combination of Cameron and Green with a bit of Finlayson in there is almost going to be unstoppable for opposition defences this year.